Ollie, great to see you. Thoughts on the relegation?
It's been poor. It's been so poor this year. I wouldn't have spent 150 quid if I knew we'd be on 10 points at this point, to be fair, on the season ticket. It's been so bad.
Just a one win at home all season. Talking to managers, who do you want to see?
Danny Rowe or Will Still.
Yeah.
100%. I think Will Still will be good because he's young, and Danny Rowe will be good because he plays like Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Yeah. And he knows the club, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Danny Rowe. Do you think it's realistic that we'll be able to get him in? There's a lot of clubs that want him now. He's been linked with clubs all over Europe as well as here in England as well.
Yeah, and if Leipzig come in, then he'd go there. He'd choose Leipzig over us because we're just a state at the minute. But to be fair, I think any other English club, he'd pick us over them. But if Leipzig come in, he'd go Leipzig.
Yeah, I think it'd be a big decision. What must happen in the summer for you here is a big summer. But what must happen?
A clear out, 100% a clear out. Get rid of all the deadwood, get rid of all the players that ain't put 100% in this season, and build a team that's going to be 100% ready to get promoted again, because I'd miss a team where players would die for us, but they just wouldn't nowadays. They're just here for the money, they're here for the status of playing in the Premier League. They don't really care about Southampton.
I think you're right, they got clapped off last week. I was quite surprised at that and been a bit outspoken on that one, but yeah, they've annoyed me at times this year. I think they're down tools and Russell at the end, and they did for a long period of time under Juric.
Yeah, I can't believe they got clapped off, to be fair. It's an absolute state from our fans. They don't deserve any praise for this season. They've let us all down. We come here every week, we sell out away from home, we sell out at home, and they lose every week. They don't try. I mean, Juric's football wasn't very good. He didn't really have a plan, but they should still go out there and just fight. They just don't fight for us.
I think you're right. I think you made some really good points. Get involved in the comments box below. Give me your thoughts on that as well. I don't think they fought anywhere near enough. It's been great to have you on. Charlie and Ellie, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Relegated. How are you feeling about it all?
Oh, pretty sick. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? And it's a real shame after all the hope we had this time last year. So yeah, a bit embarrassed, a bit sad. You know, it's just what it is. We've got to crack on, haven't we, and get going again next season.
Ellie, it's been a long season, just the 2 wins. One here, one on the road. It's been tough, isn't it?
It's painful, isn't it? And even last week when we were here and it was so close, and it's just trying to get over that 11-point mark, get to 12, and I'm an optimist.
Can we do it? Can we do it? Can Alana and Russ do it?
I think so. And sometimes it happens when the pressure's off and you have your day and it all goes well. But so maybe today, but probably not. We'll see.
I remember going to an away game years and years ago, and maybe your dad might have even, or maybe you remember it. It was a derby away, right at the end of the season. I think we lost 6-2, and they'd already been relegated. So what I'm hoping is we'll have that sort of pressures off, and we'll get past this points total by 2 or 3.
Get it out of the way.
But who knows? I think changing the managers gives us the best chance of doing that. But it's so embarrassing that we're talking about our best hope this season being beaten 12 points. That's just what's it come to. It's a real
quite
shame.
incredible. The standard has dropped beyond recognition.
Yeah.
What must happen in the summer for you?
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do because I think the quality of the squad we've got now, there's a lot of players in there I really love and I think have been really good for the club, but the overall quality of the squad I think is lower now than it was when we got relegated last time.
Yeah.
And I think you can see a progression of reduction in the quality of the squad right from sort of Ralph's second season right through, and I just think there's so much work to do. It's not impossible, but they've just got to be really, really serious and crack on with it as soon as possible. Yeah,
it's going to be a big summer, Ellie. Anybody that has to stay for you, players that you realistically can keep that you want to see stay?
The best one for me that would stay is Matty Fernandez. I know that he may well go. We watched your video the other day about who's going to go and who's going to stay, and I agreed with almost all of them. And it's so many that I think have got to go. But if I could keep one player, assuming Ramsdale is going to go, then it would have to be Matty Fernandez for me.
Yeah, he's been great. Managerial wise, who do you want to see?
Oh, it's such a hard question.
One,
you answer that one because I don't know.
Rafa Benitez would be brilliant for me. Maybe it's realistic or not, I don't know.
Someone that knows how to get a team promoted.
Someone that knows what they're doing and they're a pro, someone who'll be a great role model for the players they'd really, really respect. Russell Martin did a great job, I think, last year when he came in and galvanised the team after, a really difficult relegation. It's even harder this time.
Sport Republic have to get it right this time, managerial-wise.
They do, yeah. They've made a few errors. I keep having faith that eventually they'll learn from their mistakes. I'm sure they probably, now they've got a sporting director in, hopefully it'll be a bit more organised. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ben, great to see you.
And you, mate.
Juric sacked this week.
Yeah.
It's been a big week for the football club. All change. Rusk and Alana come in. Do you see Ruskin and Lallana getting more points than what Juric did in the tenure that he had here?
I'd like to think so. I think for me, Rusk did a good job as interim manager back in, I think it was December.
Yeah.
For me, I'm really intrigued to see Lallana part of that team, because obviously having that link into the dressing room, having the guys on side, I think could be really helpful. And I'd like to think that, yes, we could go and get a few more points than Juric did.
Yeah.
So
and go and beat Derby's record, because that is what's on the line now, isn't it?
we've got to do it. We've got to do it. I think the pressure's off now. Again, with these guys in charge, I'd like to think that there's a couple of games there for some points.
Finding a new manager now. Ruskin and Lallana could put themselves in the frame for that if they do well, potentially. Who do you want to see come in? If there's anybody that you would go and get, if you were in that boardroom and you were dragging Solak right now, who would you want to see?
It's hard. I've said Danny Roll, like a lot of fans, for the last God knows how many months, but I do like Rosinha. I think what he did at Hull, he got the sack, which was for me bizarre. Look at Hull now, big mistake from them. I think I've always been impressed with his style of play. It was similar to Russell, and maybe that could help us. But I like him. I like his attitude. I think the players would probably respect him. But Danny Rowe, I think, again, could be a good option. Realistically, those are the sort of candidates I think we're going to be going for. I've heard about the Will Still one. I'm not so sure. I think they have to get this one right, and if it does go wrong, someone like Will Still, that it's just like a media disaster, that, for me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Russell Martin this week was on Gary Lineker's podcast. I thought it was quite interesting. Were you surprised at some of the comments that he made? He pretty much went on that show and said that we were weaker at the start of this season than we were last season.
Yeah, that did surprise me. And look, I like the guy, but I have to be honest, for me, it felt like he's guarding himself and his brand rather than
protecting himself.
Yeah, exactly. To say that the team was weaker, you know, he had a hand to play in those players that came in.
Yeah. He was here signing players.
I found that a bit of a bizarre comment, personally. Yeah.
No, I did. I thought it was an interesting interview. Get involved in the comments box below. Give us your thoughts if you've seen that podcast with Gary Lineker and Russell Martin. My big question to you is, do you think that Lallana and Simon Rusk will get more points than what Juric did during his tenure in the next 7 games?
I hope so. We were talking about it on the way here, and actually it'd be interesting to see how they do in the last 7 games, because I suppose there could be a shout they could be in for the job permanently. I don't know whether that could be an option. Personally, I'm looking forward to Lallana coming out on the sidelines today and maybe getting a rendition of He's One of Our Own. That might be good for confidence levels and get the crowd up. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they get on.
We're relegated now. It's all about next season.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a new manager they're going to have to find now. Do you think Danny Rowe is a realistic appointment? Do you think obviously there's clubs all over Europe want his services now? It's going to be difficult, isn't it?
It is. I think he's a good option. He's done a mid-table job at Sheffield Wednesday, which is over and above the expectations they would have had. So there is a little bit of risk whether he could do it again at another club. Personally, I'd like to see Rosinha. I think there's an opportunity. Bearing in mind, he's not probably going to get a job directly in the Prem. I think coming to someone like us who has got a good chance of coming straight back up, that might be his best route, and it's coming home for him. But I don't think he's ever failed wherever he's been. I think he's done a good job at Hull, at Strasbourg. I think he'd be a really good option.
To be fair, at Hull, if he'd been supported in that January window, they would have had far better into that last season.
I remember coming down here and watching them. I think they beat us 2-0 and they played us off the park. They were a really good team, and I don't think that kind of football would really suit us. So that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Final thoughts on the rest of the season for you? Just some pride. Derby's points low tally is there to be had. We have to beat that, don't we?
We do. We've got some winnable games in there. I think Leicester, although they've got more points than us, I think they're a worse team at the moment. I'd just like to see the crowd get behind Rusk and Lallana, give it a really good go, get us over that tally, and hopefully identify and start getting on the front foot with regards to what recruitment needs to be in the summer, basically.
Back to the Championship next year. We've not spoken since. Your thoughts on the return to the Championship and how big the summer is for this board?
It's a huge summer. I think last time we went down, the job for whoever was going to come in was going to be a big one.
Bigger this time?
Much bigger, because this is going to be, even if we were to get 2 points right and not go down with under 11, it's one of the worst teams ever, one of the worst seasons ever. They're barring Matty Fernandez, Tyler Dibbling, and that young guy, Jay Robinson, who came on, looked a bit lively today. The rest of them can all go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Because their heads just drop continuously, they look sluggish today, and these are fans that have continued to come out and watch you knowing what's happening in a few games' time, and you're not turning up and giving them a performance.
Fans are unbelievable, aren't they? They turn up week in, week out, they're just insane.
More people, I said to my friend, I reckon 28,000 people come today, and fair play to them for coming out, watching that after what's happened, and it's just not good enough. So I think a massive job's going to be done in the summer. I think this entire team needs to be gutted, and I'm excited for Championship football because, barring some incredibly unlucky miracle, I just want to watch us win more games than we lose. You know what I mean? I think that's what we all want, right?
Yeah.
And to hopefully get someone in to bring a bit of excitement back to the team like we had last time.
Yeah, manager for you, who would you like to see? Anyone stand out? There's a lot of names being touted with the job.
I'd like to go for Danny Roll. I think he's the bookie's favourite at the moment, but kind of having watched what he's done at Wednesday this season, knows the club inside out. He was the brains behind Ralph and that regime. I'd go for him. He's young as well, so he's a project manager. I want to watch someone who's going to be here still in 3 or 4 years' time, build something exciting. Hopefully we give him a bit of time this time, unlike with Russell, but we know how that ended.
We need to find a manager and get something to work and stick with it for a period of time, don't we? Yeah. Get some stability.
That's what we want, because we had stability. Koeman here for 2 years, look at where he took us. Ralph for 4 years or whatever, kept us up on a shoestring budget. But it seems to me whenever things are going a bit wrong this time round, we seem to just jump, and it's always the manager's fault. It's narrow-minded. There are more things going on at the club right now than just a manager and his style of play. So I really hope whoever comes in, we give them a fair crack, back them with the right people and the right personnel, and hopefully results will start to turn around.